So we've been talking about distance and distance between points, and we've been using the distance formula. But here's a different look that shows up on the SAT and SAT specialty test. The distance between a given point is 13 units. Find the value of A, where the points are negative 7, 3, and A, 15. So we're going to go ahead and use the distance formula. So when you see something like this, you can't freak out. You got to be okay with it, but it just doesn't look like what we're used to. And we know that distance is equal to the square root of x sub 2 minus x sub 1 quantity squared, right? Plus y sub 2 minus y sub 1 quantity squared. And this whole thing goes underneath the radical, doesn't it? This is what I want to tell you. This is what I think will really, really help you on the SAT, specialty exam, is that stick with what you know and just fill in what you have. So what we have is this. We have a distance, right? Our distance is 13. So I'm going to take this distance of 13, and I'm going to just put this in for that. So there's my 13, right? And then we have these 2 points. It does not matter which point you use as your first point. It doesn't matter one bit. So this is the way I set up my problem. I did A, took this as x sub 2. So A minus, right, this minus, just to be clear about this, this negative sign right here is this negative sign right here. But we know that our second x value, this one that we're going to take right here, is negative 7. So I put in negative 7. So hopefully you can see where this is all coming from. And then this whole thing is squared. Plus, we know that y sub 2 would be 15, right? And y sub 1 is 3, quantity squared. So I think this is making a little bit of sense here, right? And then from here we're going to simplify. So we're going to go ahead and simplify this out, right? I also want to just reinforce to you that problems like this take time. And there is time on the SAT. You have a minute and a half or 2 minutes for each problem. So don't freak out. I think a lot of people go in, if they don't know the answer right away, they think that it's not going to work out. It's going to work out just fine. So now we have this. Now you just have to be brave and FOIL this thing out, right? FOIL this and simplify this. Well, we know that 15 minus 3 is 12, right? And 12 squared is 144, isn't it? When you FOIL out a plus 7 times a plus 7, please remember, a little cautionary tale here, you cannot do this. You can't do that. It doesn't work, right? Exponents are not distributive across addition. So what you have to do is actually do this like this, a plus 7 times a plus 7, and do that FOIL. A times a is a squared. A times 7 is 7a. 7 times a is another 7a. 7 times 7 is 49. Keep simplifying. 7a's plus 7a's is 14a's, isn't it? So we have 14 a's. And then we have 49 plus this 144 we already had up here, which I believe is 193. How do you like that? 193. 193. Right? Okay. So we're doing just fine here. And then, right, is 13. Now what I'm saying is this. We want to be able to get to this work on the inside. So what we have to do here is get rid of this. My concern right now is this one right here. So I want to get rid of this. To get rid of a square root, we do what? Exactly, we square it. So if we square this side, we have got to square this side. And 13 squared is 169. God, I hope I'm right, or it's going to be a pain in the neck. This square cancels this, so we get a squared plus 14a plus 193, right? And then this is a quadratic, so this is what my next clue is. I see this is quadratic, right? This is what they're testing us on. This is not the easiest thing in the world because it's such a process. Because this is a quadratic, I know I want this whole thing set to 0, so we're going to subtract 169 from both sides, 169. And we get 0 is equal to a squared plus 14a plus 'Well, my brain stopped for a second. It's 24. And then we can finally take this out, right? We can say that, oh, this should be 0 here. 0, right? So we have 0 is equal to this, and we have a plus 7 Whoops, no, it's not. A plus 12, A plus 2. How did I get that? We want two numbers. When we add them, we get 14. When we multiply them, we get 24. 12 plus 2 is 14. 12 times 2 is 24. Our answers are A equals negative 12 or A equals negative 2. All right? All right, you guys, I really hope that was helpful. We got to get good at this. First thing I want you to go back and remember is when we see a distance problem, if it's between 2 points, even if it's different than what we expected, start with the distance formula and fill in the values that we have and start doing your arithmetic. All right? Good work. Very proud of you.